Dirty TheJack Aeon, Med Anu and Anu and Anu and Supreme Commander 2 video. Now that I'm done reciting the Necronomicon, hello, this is Jack again, and I'm bringing you another Supreme Commander 2 informative video. I'll be joined by Lobster again. If you've been watching the past couple of videos, you would have seen about Aeon shields and Cyberin shields. This time it's UEF shields. The P shield.
The worst in the bunch.
Oh yes. Well, in most cases it's the worst. In one special case, you'll see it's actually better.
Anyway, as you've seen, we've grouped up. It's basically the same setup. We have 10 planes that are going to attack 5 P shields, and then we're going to have 20 attack 10 and 50 attack 50, and then we're going to add scorch bombs to see how that affects the outcome. And then we have the same amount of planes that attacked the shielded and unshielded factories in the previous video, 31 and 70. And I guess that's that. I guess we'll just start testing, won't we?
Yeah. Just before you issue that first attack order, I'd just like to point out, although the shield on a P shield has 600 health. Now, Lobster, what's the hit points of a shield on a adapter?
Why? Because I'm always Cyberin.
Yes.
140.
There you go. That's what, about 5 times the effectiveness of a P shield?
Something like that.
So, realistically, based on that assumption, these all should survive quite easily, as they're the equivalent of 25 adapters? In theory?
In theory. Let's issue the attack and show you what happens in the practical world.
Yes.
And again, we'll be attacking the middle one. And here they come. And they're kind of dancing about. Oh, there we go. Information-ish. There's the bomb drop. Look at that. All shields down.
A bomb even impacted the actual P shields. So much for being 5 times the effectiveness of an adapter.
And why is that? It's how the UEF shield actually works. The Cyberin shield, as we told you in the previous video, actually reduces the damage by 85 each shield it passes. The UEF shield, the projectile actually detonates on top of the shield, damaging shields below it.
Yes, it's all about the area of effect of weapons. The adapters, because they let the projectile through and reduce the damage by 85%, it seems they also reduce the area of effect of the projectile by 85% as well. So when it hits that first shield, it's not actually hitting many other shields after that. It's different when it comes to UEF shields, as one projectile will impact the first shield and probably the next few layers of shields due to the area of effect.
Let's have another go, and let's have the bombers keep bombing on their own to get the delay effect as well. Here's the attack. Zooming right in on the action. Bombs getting dropped. 2 bombs actually made it through this time, probably because they flew differently this time.
Yes. Very minute differences in the flight path can greatly affect the outcome of the bombs.
There they go in to mop up what's left. One's actually surviving, but
Hero P shield! Hero shields!
well, to make sure we don't have any veterancy, I'll be flying these into their death. Down the hole with you. Bye, bye. Whoa!
Zoom.
Okay, time for a group of 20 planes v 10 P shields in a normal formation.
Yes.
Formation is complete. Let's
Now,
attack middle-ish.
Well, it'd be worth pointing out that if you watched the previous video with the adapters, that the scaling of numbers always went in favour of adapters. So there's no linear scaling when it was adapters versus planes. Let's see how it scales when it's P shields and planes.
And there's the attack.
And the traditional zigzag.
Bombs being dropped. Look at that. Like almost half the bombs went through. I'm not even
Yes, that was far more vicious. No even point continuing that.
No.
Delayed bombs, because to be honest, with UEF shields, delaying bombs will have the same result, if not worse result, due to the recharge rate.
Biplanes.
By whatever they're called, P shields. Momentary forget, yeah.
So let's see, 50 v 50. Had this been 50 planes v 50 adapters, the adapters they wouldn't even have cared. They would have set up a tea party and discussed current events. Let's see what the P Shields thinks of 50 planes.
Yes. To be honest, based on the scaling we seen earlier, these P shields do not stand a bloody chance.
And the bombs being dropped, shields being absolutely decimated, and there's no
They
point
got through
even,
the shields in the first pass, they're always gotta get through.
Nah, no point even continuing attack. And biplanes. We're nice people. We're nice people.
Yes. We are.
Look at them plummet to their deaths. Thank you for participating in this test. There will be cake. Okay, so you've seen that the scaling between P shields and planes are not exactly the same as the scaling between adapters and planes. But let's see what happens with planes v factories. Still unupgraded bombs, no training, no veterans. And same amount of planes, 31 fighter bombers, we v 1 air factory. And attack. Some zigzagging. Bombs being dropped. And look at that.
Factory be dead.
Exactly the same result. Now we'll use the exact same amount of fighter bombers we used to attack a shielded Cybran factory, but now it's a shielded UEF factory. 70 fighter bombers.
Worth noting that the factory hit points and the shield hit points on the factory are the same as the Cybran factory.
Yes, but you'll see a bit of a difference here, and it's all due to how the shields are designed. Let's zoom right in on the action. There you can see the bombs being dropped. Shield is down, but look at that. It actually survives. And why is that, Jack?
It's all to do with how the shield works. Cybran shield always lets projectiles through, reducing their damage by 85%. But that full damage is already been applied to the shield itself. So it's my theory that with Cybran shields, bombs do extra damage against them in whole, because as bombs hit the shield, they do the full damage to the shield, and 15% damage to the structure, for 15% extra damage, I believe. So that could very well be what made a difference. With UEF shields, the full damage is only ever applied to the shield.
Yes. I have now added 2 fighter bombers to my little squadron here. And failed formation here.
You know, I'll just get a factory repaired then. There you go.
That formation will have to, I guess. Slow it down, and 72 fighter bombers this time. Don't muck up the formation, you. Oh, okay, looks good. And here comes the bombs. Let's zoom right into the factory. Yeah, factory not so lucky this time.
All it took was 2 extra planes to make the difference from the more powerful single shield, at least.
Yes. And yeah, I guess we should demonstrate the differences with Scorch Bombs now.
Yes.
Let me just
The next
upgrades.
testing groups in place.
So 10 fighter bombers now with 50% damage and Scorch Bombs. And again, I'll be attacking the middle one. Attack away. Here comes bombs. Look at that.
I'm sure you've noticed instantly the difference between the previous bombing run. With an upgraded bomb that does more damage, somehow 2 shields survive now. What's with that, Lobster?
Again, it just has to do with how the shields work and how the new bombs work, because now it's a damage over time bomb, and yeah, P shields just stop the bombs. When it comes to
they stop the bombs purely because with it being a pure damage over time bomb, you overkill each and every layer of shield. So you could hit the first shield with so many bombs in an instant, but it'll still take a while before that shield will take the damage to go down, you know, with it being a damage over time. So you can really overkill shields, reducing damage to other shields and to the units themselves.
Exactly. But
so much for an upgrade.
Yes, let's see when they will leave them attacking though. Here they come. Hero planes. Same result as before, 2 shields are still up. Here they're coming in for a second attack.
This time with more time between bombs.
Yes, shields are coming back up, but since there's a delay between the bombs, there's devastation.
See? That's why having delay between bombing actual bombs in a single bombing run is worthwhile. Just to show scaling between planes and P shields, let's have a double-sized group going up. 10 P shields, 20 planes.
Swoosh, 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 swoosh.
Ready when you are.
Absolutely. Here goes the attack. Bombs being dropped. And look at that. All the shields went down. Quite a difference from adapters, but here comes the second attack and the P shields really don't stand a chance anymore.
Nope. Vicious. Just vicious.
You can clearly already see the difference between P shields and adapters, because when it comes to Aeon fighter bombers v P shields, the scaling is the exact reverse of what the scaling was between planes and adapters. But let's see what happens with 50v50 then. Remember what happened when we did this with planes v adapters? Well,
those poor planes never stood a chance.
Here comes the bombs. Look at that. Look at all those bombs getting through. Not even worth letting keep attacking really, but I'm gonna let it just because. Sure, with a bit of micro, we could probably have made more use out of each bombing run. But this is effective as is. Look at all that destruction. One hero P shield.
Run!
He is in trouble.
It looks like 2 bombs are enough to take down a P shield. giving the full damage over time. But the rest just
swoop
pain.
in and destroy him. And there you have it. The absolute difference between P shields and adapters, and UEF shields and cyber shields in general.
Yeah, so now for the Scorch Bomb's effect on the factory.
Ah, yes, of course. Let's... I need 2 more planes, I see.
You do?
Yes, I just moved 2 planes over to my group of 70 to make the group large enough. But it's okay, it's okay. 2, yeah.
Okay, should be 31 and 70 planes, remember, to keep the...
Yes. I'll remove 2 from the 72 group for now. 31 group. Move down here so I attack from the same side. Okay, so again, 31 planes. The unshielded factory with Scorch Bombs. Here we go. Slow it down. And logically, that factory should just get absolutely demolished. And indeed it does. Look at that. You see that circle? The damage is still happening. It was just overkill. A lot of overkill.
Yes. For the shielded factory.
Yes. 70 fighter bombers with Scorch Bombs. The shielded factory. Comes the attack. Hopefully they won't mess up too badly. Zoom right in on the factory. Here's the attack. And you saw that, right?
Yep.
Lots and lots stopped on the shield. But thanks to the Scorch Bombs, they still managed to push on through. But if you watched closely, you saw that it wasn't actually the bombs hitting it like it was with before that killed it. It was the additional damage over time effect.
Yes, it seemed to have balanced it quite nicely on a single shield there. So even though more bombs hit the shield itself, there's still enough left to inflict enormous damage to the structure itself. Which was fortunate.
5 planes, you will be missed.
Right, we're done here.
Yes, we are, and thank you for watching.